Hi, I'm Arlene Tabor, and I want to welcome you to the Northside Inspirations Art Show. My husband, I would tell him I needed to go find inspiration for the show, and we'd drive up and down the roads in our neighborhood and just around the area, and I'd start saying, wait, there's one, and I'd make him stop and I'd take pictures, and we'd just go from there. Or we'd go to places that we enjoyed, the fishing bridge, golf courses, and take pictures as we enjoyed the area ourselves. That's how the basic inspirations, I began to realize that there was so much up here that was so much more interesting than most people really think. And I just wanted to really showcase that and make people curious about, wow, maybe there's something on the north side, you know, besides all the negative that we hear. I used several mediums. I used acrylic and watercolor, oil, and pastel. And this is an oil. I did this almost one of the last ones that I did. We have so many waterways in the area. There's just more water here than almost any place in the country. And I put the little Dames Point Bridge off in the distance to illustrate some of the beauty that we have out here. Then I've used watercolor on most of them. I've enjoyed watercolor. This is watercolor on paper, the golf course, and then this is the airport. This is a watercolor on UPO paper, which is a new medium to use. It's almost like painting on plastic. The paint actually runs. It doesn't soak into the paper. So it's kind of a challenge to get an image that is correct the first time. If you have to wipe it out, it goes right back to the white paper. And I love doing pastel, especially with portraits. I did the old fisherman with pastel on velour cloth, and it gives such a softness to the features. This one I did on the UPO paper that I mentioned earlier, and it's a lot of fun to work with because the paint just kind of paints itself. I put the paint and the water on and then just let it run wherever it wanted to go. Then I put water underneath for the actual water. Then when it dried thoroughly, I started painting the detail of the boat. And you have to be very careful and just barely touch with heavier paint or you'll wipe out the background and it goes right back to white. But the detail on the boat, I had some cheesecloth and I just put it in black paint and then laid it on there. And when I pulled it up, there was the net. This is Sherry, one of my favorite watercolor paintings. I met her on the fishing bridge when we were fishing. And I just loved her sparkling eyes and big smile. So I asked her if I could take her picture and she was delighted. And I just really tried to capture the essence of her spirit. One of the first ones I did, we were heading to a little restaurant on, Lynn Turner. And we crossed a bridge over the Trout River, and I noticed all these birds sitting on this little tiny wire, and they have such great big feet that it seemed odd to me that they would do that. And we saw them several times. Little pelicans all sitting there with their feet all cramped up trying to stand on that little wire. Brentwood Golf Course. We enjoy playing there from time to time. We love all the hills. And from number 9, you can see the downtown area. Now, I took a little bit of creative license because I didn't particularly want to paint number 9, so I painted across the fairway looking up the hill, and then I added the downtown as you'd see it from number 1. And this is another watercolor I did. This is my little neighbor boy, Kimari, and he is one of my treasures. He's been coming to visit Miss Arlene for 8 years now. And this is my dog, Molly, that he just loves. So I had to do a picture of him, and he was so proud of it. He came to the show and stood here showing off, because that was him. This is another Yupo painting, watercolor on Yupo paper. This one's a favorite of mine. I was going down Dunn Avenue and saw a garden with a boat in the back. But this one especially, I did some interesting things. I wanted the boat to look old, and I'd read about using Elmer's glue in the paint. And so you just paint it on, and then you wait, and the next morning I came in, and there it was. It had all separated and became old. For any student, anyone that's thinking about a career in the visual arts of any kind, just don't stop. Don't deny yourself. If something appeals to you, go for it. I've learned over the years, if I see something, just in my painting, if I see something that I want to paint, I need to do it. Some time ago, when we first moved here, I saw a beautiful dead white tree. It was bleached white in the sun, and it was along the highway, and I kept thinking, I've got to get a picture of that. And my husband was concerned because it was on a highway, and there was a lot of traffic. So one Sunday we did go by, and I managed to get him to stop, and I got out and took several pictures of the tree. And I painted it on Yupo. It was one of my first Yupo paintings, and it proceeded to win first place in an art show. And then shortly after that, we drove by, and the tree had fallen over. So that to me was really a lesson. When something really strikes your fancy, pursue it. No matter what, don't give up, because you can do it.